Hey guys, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I am your tarot reader, Cody, and today's pick a card. We are going to be doing January predictions. So I missed December predictions, and I thought it'd be good to get some January predictions out of the way and into the new year to at least know what's coming up in the month ahead. So with that said, we're also going to pull, I think I want to pull some cards towards the end of the reading to get like a little self-care thing for the upcoming year. I have my self-care oracle cards, and I thought that'd be fun to get a little self-care like exercise that you can think about going into the new year for any of you planning any New Year's resolutions. Or I know New Year's sometimes people are like taking care of their health and stuff, so maybe something, a little self-care card to like see if that can like jive with you for the new year. So I'll pull that for those of you who care about that. And otherwise, let's get into the reading. We have 4 groups in front of us today. These are all crystal necklaces. So I will show you them all. The first one is, it's a crystal necklace of sunset sodalite. You can see that. The second group is this crystal necklace of amazonite. The third is this crystal necklace of charoite. And fourth, we have this last but not least, don't you love that expression? Rhodochrosite. So take all the time you need to pick your crystal. You can pause the video here if you need to. With that said, as I always say, there is no right or wrong way to pick your crystal, as long as it gets you the accurate reading. Sorry, I'm feeling like in a pretty goofy mood today. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get on to the first group, starting with group number 1, the Sodalite, the Sunset Sodalite. Hey, group 1, this is if you picked the Sunset Sodalite over here. So let's get into your reading. I pre-drew the cards for this reading, so that way you can get like right into it. With the High Priestess here, that's the card that came up upright, flipped out of the deck, and landed right here. So that might just be signifying that intuition is going to be a key point in your month. But we'll see what the cards say. Let's flip over your card. So just so you know, this tea leaf oracle correlates with these 2 cards for the first week. This tea leaf correlates with these 2 cards for the second week. This tea leaf for the 3rd week, and this tea leaf and these cards for the 4th week. So let's get into it. Let me draw your cards over. For the first week, we have Ace of Cups, 10 of Wands, and we have Bull. For the second week, we have 4 of Swords, the High Priestess, and Hammock. For week 3, we have 5 of Swords, 9 of Wands reversed, and Grasshopper. For week 4, we have 3 of Swords, and we have 6 of Swords reversed, along with Cobweb. Okay, let's get into your reading. All right, so let's start off with week 1 with Bull. With Bull, we have do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. I'll show you that card right here. So you have a bull right there. I don't know if you can see his face. Then the rest of him kind of looks like Rocky Mountains, interestingly enough. But there is something, there's a new, it's not really a new project, but it's a newfound passion, right? Like a newfound love. So there's almost a sense of purpose with the Ace of Cups. We're seeing this sense of purpose paired with the 10 of Wands. It's almost as if in the previous month in December, you've been really busy with a lot of work, a lot of responsibilities. You've been taking up everyone's kind of like projects and tasks. But the thing is with this is it's all within the realm of like, what you're realizing is you kind of like enjoy doing this for the most part. there's a sense that it's made you stronger and more resilient, and you're very proud of yourself for all the things you've gotten done in December. It's almost as if you're coming into January with a very like tough attitude and the ability to kind of like push through like difficulties to get things done. And the interesting thing too is this general hard work that you went through in December. You're kind of cycling back to the ace. We have a 10 card right here, and you're cycling back to the ace, but the reason why the ace is before the 10 is because it's fueling your consistency with this 10. It's like fueling the work. So in the very beginning of January, you might have some leftover work projects from December where you're like still working or still pretty busy with those work projects. But with the fact is in January, you have a renewed purpose for them. You have a renewed, newfound like passion. It's almost like you're seeing things clearly, or you're seeing it with more like, it's like you're on one hand you're seeing it with rose-colored lenses, but you're seeing it actually clearer than with rose-colored lenses. So you're seeing it positively, but you're also seeing it more accurately as well. All this work and responsibilities you've been doing. And you realize it's building your character. It could also be building your strength of character and your like willpower and determination. You're just very proud of yourself for all that you've accomplished in December. And when I'm seeing that with the Ace of Cups, you're finding some kind of meaning behind it, you know? I'm definitely seeing for some of you, if you have been helping people out, friends and family and stuff, and you've been picking up their responsibilities and helping them out, they're deeply, deeply appreciative of this. They're deeply appreciative of this because what I'm seeing in the month of December is that, or especially into the beginning of January, is that other people aren't really having the energy, and for some reason it's like you have all the energy to get everything done. You have all the energy to like accomplish all the tasks. So the people in your life, your loved ones, and even some people who you maybe just, with the Ace of Cups, we have a possibility of like a crush situation. Even some people that you may have a crush on or you may like or feel endearment to. There is the idea here that you're actually helping them out with certain practical tasks and like doing some work for them to kind of get them on your good side, basically. And it's really working to your benefit, basically. There's a lot of just really pure love in the first week of January with a really solid like work ethic. There is something here with the bull, do not back down from opposition, so show strength and fortitude, is there might be some obstacles in the first week of January. And basically what the bull is saying is don't back down, don't like overcome those obstacles, because we see already that you're picking up a lot of work and a lot of responsibilities and people are really appreciating it. But if you encounter an obstacle, figure out how to not only not back down from the obstacle, but show strength and fortitude. Just to me just shows that like you're moving around the obstacle, or you're knowing how to work through it, or you're kind of figuring out how to deal with these things on the regular, basically. Also, a message for some of you, if you're a little stressed out in January, you're coming into January and you're like, oh, I just don't want to deal with this work. Or for some of you, I feel like most of you have a sense of pride in the work that you've been doing and a sense of pride in the responsibilities you've been able to do for others, and you feel very proud of yourself that you're able to provide or take care of those around you. But for some of you, I'm seeing that it might be wearing a little thin. We might have a little regression from the 10 of Wands into the 9 of Wands. Basically, what we're seeing here is that it's only going to be one more week, because what we see in week 2 is you get a nice little vacation. You get a nice little rest, a nice little respite from your activities, basically. But for the first week of January, it's very important that you do not back down from these things. Do not back down from opposition and show that strength and fortitude. People are really appreciating it, and you're going to get a lot of love and connection and like free-flowing positive emotion from this work. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but if you've ever had a period of time where you weren't working for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden you got into some work activities and there's like, whoa, there's this burst of positivity or newness, basically from getting into a more like busy state of mind. This is kind of what's going on with you, especially in week 1 of January, but it's almost a little prolonged. Like you've been working on these things in December, but in January, it's kind of like this loving, kind of more emotional component is starting to show through. What we see is this is actually charging up this emotional component with the hard work or responsibilities. It's actually charging you up for this second week to really, like, this is going to be a beautiful week for you, because I'm definitely seeing that you get this well-deserved break. With hammock, we say taking a vacation physically or mentally. We also have the 4 of Swords, which is a rest card, and the High Priestess. So basically, you're coming into a period in week 2 where you're going to have a nice vacation. Probably the whole week long, to be honest. There's going to be a lot of rest, recovery. You've basically worked really, really hard throughout December and the first week of January, and you're coming into this really relaxed time period. Taking a vacation physically or mentally can be anything from just resting at home, kind of recovering and like letting yourself sleep in. It's almost like you put in all the work so you can take this vacation, because it's almost like you took care of what needed to be taken care of in that first week. And now you're getting that relaxing, you're getting that kind of reward for like all the hard work that you've done. With this vacation, whether you're traveling to go on a vacation, whether you're traveling to like any kind of exotic location or something to like go on a vacation, or if it's just even like a couple cities away or something to like, maybe you're renting a hotel or something and you're just relaxing by the pool there or something like that. Whatever it is, this vacation, whether it's at home or somewhere else, when you're resting, you're going to have this High Priestess card. It's going to be really, really important, because what happened with the Ace of Cups is all this love and this attention from others. It's fueling your intuition. It's fueling your ability when you're at rest to really think through the next obstacle that's going to happen, the next thing that's going to happen. This is really a time of reflection where you're reflecting on the past and all the work that you did, and really a time of like celebration. But instead of like, say, the Four of Wands card where you're like actively partying and stuff, this is a time of like deep rest and relaxation. Some activities that I would encourage you to do that you're going to find really rewarding is like picking up a new book to read, watching a favorite TV show and like kind of finding a good series and watching that, like binging that or something like that. Really engaging in like total rest and relaxation, not really active rest. What's really required here with the Four of Swords is like really deep kind of like rest. Yeah, the High Priestess, your intuition is going to be really pronounced in this time when you're resting. So don't be surprised if you get any kind of like visions or fresh ideas for like more new projects in the future, or you're like starting to see things about your future unfold. Like you're starting to get impressions like, I think in like 5 years I'm going to be here, in 10 years I'm going to be here. You're getting like these kind of ideas about the future, and you're basically downloading kind of like knowledge, you know, basically charging yourself up with all this work activity and then resting in the second week. You're going to be getting these intuitive downloads through this week. So another reason to take a rest in week 2 and to really rest and recover is because these intuitive downloads can be very first of all, I want to use the word visual, and I don't want to say that they're going to be tiring. It's just that they're going to take time in peace and solitude to really understand them. That's what I'm trying to say. So then week 3, we have Grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. So this is interesting because we have a person coming through and they're showing up as the Knight of Wands reversed. This is indicating to me a power struggle of sorts with you and one other person in week 3. What I'm seeing is there's something that you have to tiptoe around this person's emotions or their feelings. They pretty much have a pretty high or intense temper, right? And you kind of have to walk around them. So if you're used to being the type of person that can just say whatever you want, whenever you want, this particular person, you're going to have to watch yourself just a little bit. You're going to have to kind of take it step by step with them, and kind of, they're just really going through this person that's coming into your life in week 3. This could be just, honestly, this could be like a text message you get while you're resting or something and someone wants to hang out. And I'm not saying don't hang out with this person, or this could even be family or something that's requiring your attention by, maybe you're like resting too much and your family senses that and they're kind of like, okay, time to do something, you know. But basically this person who comes in, whatever way, shape or form they come in, they're in an emotional state where they're a little like fiery. They're a little, how do I explain this? There's a few things here. The first thing is that they're a little fiery. They have a little, like, almost like a bad temper that could break loose at almost any moment. So that's why the Grasshopper's here, where it's about being very careful with this handling with this person. There's another thing here too. This person is very jealous of you. Something you accomplished in these weeks and stuff with 5 of Swords. They're jealous of your status. And that's just basically it's hard to explain how to like make them feel better, but that's why they're a little emotionally upset around you, or they're reacting that way to you, or they're kind of like that. You have to just be like tiptoe around this person's feeling. I'm seeing they might need something from you, like a situation, or they might need your help in some way, but they're also a little ashamed or embarrassed to ask for your help. It's very different from the people over here who are just like worshiping the ground you walked on, the fact that you were helping them. They were just like, oh my gosh, I so appreciate this. You're doing thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you. You're getting a lot of gratitude and praise and respect in week 1. And you're just encountering that kind of like weird little hater in week 3, where they're kind of just like, you know, they're like, I need this person to get this thing done, but I don't want to ask them, like, look how well they're doing. Like, I don't want to continue to make them feel like they're doing well by like making them feel like they're more in power than me. You know, this person I feel like has a lot of pride in like getting things done themselves. And they also have aspirations in the sense that they want to climb the social ladder. They want to climb the ladder of like the rungs of like positioning, and they're basically seeing that you're at such a high position. And so it's just a matter of being careful, because you do kind of have this dominating sense over them in this third week. And it's not in like a bad way. It's just almost how they view it, right? I don't think you're thinking like, oh, I'm trying to dominate this person or I'm trying to do that. It's just when you're approaching them, and if you're trying to help them, you have to maybe wait for them to ask for your permission to help them or something like that, because they're just kind of in a more like emotional state. They're a little fiery temper kind of thing going on, because they're a little not satisfied with their position in the world right now, basically, or in their career or something like that. I don't know exactly what they're not satisfied with, but they're just a little upset. So you just have to tread carefully when this person comes in week 3. And that's kind of what the cards here are reminding you of. Otherwise, I see like a more of an extended rest kind of combined with week 1's work, like kind of like where you're balancing both back and forth in week 3. Now with Cobweb, it says protected from negative forces beyond your control. There is something that's going to happen, and it might worry you a little bit in week 4. But what I'm seeing is you want to just focus on your own healing, your own kind of like, not just recovery, but there's something that's going to happen to you that it's almost like you're worried it's going to affect your emotional state, or you're worried it's going to affect like, you're worried it's going to basically hurt your feelings. And basically what's asked is to go like within and kind of like look back at the previous time periods in the month, like in weeks 1 and 2, to get the real. Hey, sorry about that interruption. I just had a visitor at my house, and so I had to like deal with that for a second. But back onto your reading. Basically, week 4 with the 3 of Swords, there's a feeling that you're like worried you're going to get emotionally hurt by a situation, right? There's something that's beyond your control that you're kind of nervous about, and it's almost like you're nervous it's going to like hurt you emotionally. What's asked here is remember times and look back at certain times where you were emotionally strong in these situations, where you did get over something like this in the past. There's some kind of like, it's not really a disaster, because what I'm seeing is it's negative forces beyond your control. It's something that's like affecting the people around you or someone around you, and you're worried they're going to like hurt your feelings basically because of this situation, or you're worried the situation with them is going to get worse or disintegrate into a more chaotic situation. First of all, it won't, because what you're being called to look at is that the 3 of Swords here, you're being called to look at past situations that provided you with this kind of like emotional grit and determination, knowing that you can get through anything, and looking at this past situations, even with this person, if this is a person or circumstance, looking at what happened between that person or circumstance to get you into that positive state. And also looking back, we're seeing that with the 6 of Wands reversed, it's basically because the boat's going backwards, right? So you can think of it like this, like looking back at the rest of the week, especially in weeks 1 and 2, is really going to be beneficial for you by the end of January, because it's almost like through remembering the positive times in weeks 1 and 2 and everything you learned and discovered about yourself, you're keeping this strength in the 3 of Swords, right? To protect yourself from these negative forces. And also on the flip side, it's just going to help a little bit with your anxiety and stuff, but with protected from negative forces beyond your control, the truth is these negative things will not hurt you. Chances are they're not going to hurt you at all. So I wouldn't really worry too much about it. All I would focus on is like looking back, fortifying those emotions, fortifying those feelings that you've built up through these other 2 weeks. Even looking back at week 3 and the carefulness and the kind of like respect that you treated this other person with, who was kind of in a way like jealous or envious of you or didn't want to deal with you, and they felt like they had to, you know. So even how you dealt with this situation, because I'm seeing that if you deal with it carefully, you'll also be able to look on this as like a positive moment. So you do have some challenging things in weeks 3 and 4, but nothing too drastic, nothing that you can't handle basically. And definitely with Cobweb, you definitely are protected in this 4th week from whatever this negative thing is. So this negative thing, you're worried about it in the 4th week. When it hits, know that you're protected. You have a strong heart. You have a strong like faith in yourself, essentially. And that's what's going to really drive you through. And remember, if you're feeling like wavering or not you're worried about it, look back at other moments in your recently within the beginning of January and think like, wow, look how far I've come. Look how much I've done. Look at the person I'm growing into. Look at the person I'm becoming. And that's kind of like one thing that is going to be really beneficial by week 4. Okay, so I'm going to draw. Now to get to the self-care oracle. I'm so excited about this part of the reading because I love this deck, the self-care deck. I use it whenever I'm like in a tough state, and you actually have some time with the 4 of Swords and High Priestess where maybe you could use some self-care. So we're going to pull a self-care oracle card for you just to see what, not just for January, but for the new year, if there's any kind of activity that's going to be a main focus or something that's going to be meaningful throughout the year. And we have flow like water. Perfect. So something that's really emphasized throughout the year is to get in touch with water and the element of water. So for example, this can indicate like really like being present when you're like taking a shower, or really drinking a lot of water, or like making sure you're staying hydrated. Staying hydrated is going to be a really big thing in the next year for you. Also with flow like water with the High Priestess, no one knows this, but she actually has an ocean behind her, behind this tapestry and these pillars. So maybe getting in touch with going to a river or an ocean or a lake or something like that and getting in touch with water. If you don't have a body of water near you, this is just considering like every once in a while, maybe like taking a bath, getting in touch with the water around you, and also drinking and staying hydrated as well. Very cool. So that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick-a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks. And with that said, we're going to move on to group 2 with the Amazonite. Hey, group 2, this is if you picked the Amazonite right over here. Such a cool stone. Leave that right there. All right, so this is your reading. We have some tea leaf oracle cards for your month ahead, and we also have some oracle cards. We have we're going week by week, so we have week 1 with this tea leaf and these oracle cards, week 2 over here with this tea leaf and these tarot cards. Sorry, I'm saying oracle, they're tarot. Tea leaf with these oracle, and then tea leaf with these oracle for week 4. So let's flip over your cards. Some that flipped up upright. We had one card in each week that flipped up upright. So it looks like there's going to be some kind of major underlying theme through each week for you. So I'm seeing kind of the kind of everything tying in together. At least that's how I'm seeing it now. I'll have to flip over the cards to see the rest, but let's do that right now and get into your reading. So for your first card, we have Page of Pentacles. For your second card, we have 8 of Wands reversed. And for your tea leaf for week 1, we have Shark. Take care, there will be a loss of material wealth. Interesting. Then for week 2, we have the Sun. We have Ace of Pentacles reverse. And tea leaf, we have Diamond. You'll be receiving a gift or you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. With week 3, we have the Star reversed with the, I'm blanking right now, 8 of Swords reversed. And your tea leaf oracle is Flute, disappointment in a friend or lover. And for week 4, we have Knight of Cups reversed and 9 of Cups reversed. Well, those sound similar. And Boot, increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Okay, we have kind of like an overarching theme, but weeks 3 and 4 kind of deviate a little bit. We have kind of like an interesting thing with kind of like business or your money and stuff in weeks 1 and 2, and then we have kind of like more love territory in weeks 3 and 4. So for week 1, we have Shark can be like seem like a scary card where it says take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. But paired with the 8 of Wands right here, this is just saying that there's going to be not a lot of traction to any kind of business ideas in week 1. So we have Page of Pentacles, which shows that you are gung-ho. You're ready to like start a new project, start working on that career that you wanted to work on. You want to kind of get moving. In week 1, you're very much like, okay, I want to get moving. I want to get going. Like, let's start selling things. Let's think of a new job. Let's think of this new way to make money. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we're seeing that the universe is not returning that. The universe is kind of like, it's like falling short. It's like not the right time, basically. And what we have with the shark here is they're basically saying don't invest your money into like too many precipitous activities in week 1 because it's going to lead to losses. It's like, basically it's asking you to be like prudent and careful. So you can think of these money ideas, but make sure, what I would do is have like a little journal, and I would write down all the ideas of money making ideas that you want to do and accomplish. But instead of acting on them in week 1, I would close that book, put it away in like a nightstand or something, and then open it up later when it's the right time to make those moves, right? Because what we're seeing here is that, and you'll kind of notice this a little bit because the universe with the 8 of Wands reverse, it's like not throwing things your way, not throwing opportunities your way, even though you're like really gung-ho and ready. And isn't that how it like always is sometimes with like money and stuff? It's like, you know, you're ready to make it, you're ready to do something, you're ready to act, and really it's not the right time, you know? And with the shark here, this is just saying that you want to be careful because you don't want to act on too many of these ideas right off the bat because you don't want to lose any money. You don't want to like invest in something that's not going to work and then blow all that money on that kind of investment that's not going to even return anything with what we have here with the 8 of Wands. So we have that. It's just a little warning. It's not saying to dampen your spirit of entrepreneurial spirit and like, because we see that you're like really in the position to like begin and make money. It's just that the universe is not providing that right now. There's something going on in January where it's not the right time to make those moves. And with Page of Pentacles, like I said, I would write these ideas down in a journal, seal it away and put it away later, and maybe open it up in a month or 2, or open it up when it's a better time, when the universe starts throwing things your way. And you'll kind of notice this because the universe, when you're ready to make these things, the universe will start giving you opportunities to make money. They'll say like, someone will maybe approach you and be like, hey, have you ever thought about working here? Someone might, for example, that would be someone recognizing your talent. It might not be in the thing that you want to make money on, like your investment, but it's it's like a sign from the universe, like opening up, like, okay, we're ready for you to kind of make that move towards us. So basically it's just not the right time in week 1 to make these moves. And so with Page of Pentacles, it's just saying like, write them down, write these projects down, write these ideas for new money making ideas down, and put them in a folder somewhere and save them and open them up later, review them and see if you still want to do them, basically. Week 2, it's interesting because we see that like, even though the universe is not providing you with these like money opportunities, and we even see that continuing here again with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's almost like there's not really any financial offers, but you're growing more and more positive because this entrepreneurial spirit is basically the seed of a very positive and fortuitous and happy mindset. So what we see here with the Sun is you're just very happy, very positive, very joyful, very exuberant. You're just like, I don't think there's going to be any sort of depression or sadness or sorrow in week 2. This is a time to just kind of like let loose and have fun and really enjoy the moment. And interesting, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. This is quite interesting because I don't think this is like a career opportunity, but you will be receiving a gift. You will be receiving a reward. And I'm seeing that the reward will seem or be bigger than it would have been if you kind of hold tight in this first week, right? It's almost like the universe is saying like, okay, protect yourself, protect your resources, like separate kind of what an idea is from an action. You know, just because you have the idea to make money doesn't mean you have to follow through with the action. You can still like think of ideas and to make money and still flow with the patterns of the universe, you know? So when you have this positivity in week 2 with this Ace of Pentacles, it's almost like it's a reminder, you're still not going to receive opportunities, but then it's kind of like when this receiving or giving a precious gift, it's kind of like this symbol of like, okay, you've been patient, you've been waiting. You know, it might even be that in weeks 3 and 4, I'm not really seeing this in the cards, but it might be that you might be able to start working on these money-making opportunities or these ideas in weeks 3 and 4, or even in the future, because this gift is kind of like the go-ahead. It's kind of like the, how do I put this? Yeah, I do want to point out it says you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. So for some of you, you might be inspired to give a gift as well as receive one, but there is kind of like a gift exchange basically. And it's kind of creates this like idea of like the future with the money, right? Where the opportunities may not be coming in at some points. This is kind of like a learning opportunity that the universe is throwing your way. And they're basically saying like, this is the symbol or the sign when they give you the gift to like, basically like it's like a reward for like waiting and being patient. So you might not be making money in the traditional way, but you're going to still be getting this kind of gift or this reward for kind of waiting and being patient and almost like buckling down on these kind of like money making opportunities. And now it is interesting. It changes into kind of like a love direction for like a love style reading for weeks 3 and 4. You're going to have a moment where there's going to be a friend or a lover or a person in your environment that you kind of feel disappointed in. And one of those things is what we're seeing is that this is meant to happen. It's meant to have this kind of disappointment, because what's happening is like with the Star reversed and the 8 of Swords reversed, when I get a lot of reverse cards, it just tends to mean that certain things are happening in your mind, right? Certain things are happening in your like inner world versus your outer world. And so basically there's a friend or lover kind of disappoints you in some way. And basically as you look within and you're analyzing that disappointment, you're thinking like, you know, it's kind of like a meaningful moment in kind of into the nature of their character in a way. And with the Star card reversed, we're seeing that this is on your path for a reason. There's a lot of that in this reading. There's certain things the universe is teaching you this month that's like really important. So it's important to listen for signs and stuff. So pay attention to like angel numbers. If you read your own tarot, pay attention to signs in your own cards. And even signs when you're like driving around and you see billboards or license plates or something like that, and the numbers and letters mean certain things to you. Pay attention to those things. With the Star reverse, it's just indicating that this is important. It's important to note this disappointment because it's a disappointment that has been holding you back, basically. With the 8 of Swords right here, this is kind of like my caged bird card, like she's stuck in the cage with tied up and stuff. And reverse, it just means you're going to be free to fly. You're going to be free to like expand your mind, expand, branch out, kind of. And this disappointment kind of unlocks that part in your brain, unlocks that part of you that feels like you can be free. So you might actually be leaving a relationship in week 3. I'm not seeing that exactly. I'm seeing the disappointment, but you might be taking like a small break away from someone. So for example, if this is a friend that you plan on having for the rest of your life and it's just a small disappointment, you might just think about taking a few days away from them to spend some time on your own, feeling free to fly, free to do your own thing, and then maybe coming back and renewing the friendship. What I'm seeing with the Star card too, the Star card for me, as I read, it's the next step on the journey. It's just the next positive step on the journey. Just like you can connect the dots with the stars in the sky to create a line or a path forward, the star is like the next step. So basically this disappointment is the next step in your inner journey and basically gonna free you for a little bit after this person, you feel this kind of like disappointment. Okay, now it's interesting because we had the go ahead with the diamond, right? I think you're a little distracted by this disappointment with your friend, but it's really weirdly, it's like freeing you. And it might even be freeing you to make these business moves with the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles might be coming through because the cards that we did have flip upright were Page of Pentacles, the Sun, 8 of Swords reversed, and the 9 of Cups reversed. And it's interesting, we're having this situation where it's like you get to receive the gift. That's like the green light from the universe to start working on the business projects, right? But week 3, it's like you're a little distracted. You're focused on this disappointment from your friend or a lover. And what you're seeing is you're being a little bit more free with yourself. Now that fact that you're being free with yourself and you're letting yourself be free, that's freeing up a lot more energy. And that's why we have the boot here, which says increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. We have 2 things here. With this, it's also relating to the money stuff where it's almost time to start increasing your effort with the money. But the universe is kind of pointing you in also a second direction at the same time. It's almost like with this disappointment in friend or lover, they're asking you to take that disappointment with the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups being kind of like the idea of a romantic partner, and the idea of the romantic partner that you have in your mind. And what is it about this idea of a romantic partner that is making you feel unsatisfied? What is this? it's almost like you feel like you're supposed to end up with a certain type of person, or you see yourself ending up with a certain type of person, but there's elements of that person or that connection in your mind that make you feel unsatisfied or that aren't rewarding. So the cards are asking you to increase your effort as far as like digging deep and figuring out like, what is it about an ideal romantic partner that I really want in my life? What kind of type of person would I like to date? What type of things am I not going to compromise for, basically? And also with increase your efforts, if you want to achieve your goals, it is indicating financially a little bit from some of these cards earlier in the reading where there was a delay. This kind of going to be speeding up. I'm seeing that happening more in February, like more of a financial speed up in February. But for this right here, it's all about analyzing what type of lover, what type of partner you want to have. What can you stand? What do you want? What is in your heart, basically? You might have an idea of a lover based on reading something in a magazine, or reading something even in a tarot reading. Sometimes with tarot readings, you can get like, this is your future spouse, but if there's something that doesn't resonate in the reading, we think like, oh, we have to take that. But a lot of tarot readings are still general readings. So if there's something you don't like, you have the decision to make that a thing that you don't want in your person, right? Plus, there's tons of different types of people. I know this for sure. So if you have one type of person who's a certain personality type, there's a lot of varieties for that type of person in, your future, your experience, or what you can find, basically. So it's just reevaluating what you want in a partner. And with the 9 of Cups here, it's talking about like what makes you feel ungrateful about that partner. What is it, the idea in your head of this person is kind of making you feel sour? It's kind of with this disappointment, it kind of affects this position, right? With this disappointment in a friend or lover, you're starting to realize like, man, there's certain things I just wish I didn't have to deal with in my relationships. And so when you get to the boot stage where you're increasing that effort, the universe is pushing you like, all right, let's really dig in. Let's think about what these things are. Let's think about what we do and don't like about this person, or what we really want in this person, or what kind of attitude should we be looking for to replace the negative attitude of that person. So what kind of thing would I do differently instead, And a lot of this, because these are reverse cards, is happening within the mind. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of internal mental work with kind of like a prepping for more financial success from these ideas down the line, and maybe in February. But yeah, that was your monthly prediction. I want to get, because it's the new year and January is the first month of the new year, I'm going to pull a self-care oracle card for you guys. And just a little extra thing to see if there's anything in the cards about what you can do for yourself. And we have beauty ritual. Okay, so basically in the upcoming year ahead, you're going to be going through kind of like a glow up. Right? It's really important to focus on your beauty and your aesthetic and how you are dressing and how you're presenting yourself. This is really cool. And you really want to take a fun attitude to this. Like, don't get too serious or crazy or like worry if you like don't look the right way for certain things, but finding things that fit your style, finding things that fit your identity. Beauty ritual can be anything from like going to getting your nails done every once in a while to getting a massage, It's anything that can make you glow and feel great. You might want to purchase like better skincare products or something like that. And what I'm seeing here with her, exactly, she has the nail polish like things in her beauty. So basically like focusing on how you look, how you dress, how you present yourself, and focusing and really like, how do I put this? Being really present in the beauty ritual. So if you're putting on makeup, or you're like fixing your hair or something, being really present and enjoying the creative process of like working with that beauty. I'm definitely seeing that in the next year ahead for you, as you're really focused on your look and your aesthetic and how you present yourself. I also see that these efforts are going to be rewarded greatly by those around you. People are going to start noticing you more. People are going to start noticing how you're dressing and all the different things that you're doing different with your appearance, Yeah, very, very cool. You might even think about going shopping during the new year and the beginning of January, and think about getting new clothing ideas and new things like that. That could be another thing that, like with the cards right here, like, because it also is basically saying take care, or there'll be a loss of material wealth. Maybe writing down your ideas for what you want your style to look like, and then maybe acting more on those ideas of your style in weeks 3 and 4 or into February. But really brainstorming, start thinking like, how do I want to change my look? How do I want to look this way or how do I want to accentuate accentuate this feature, and then basically taking care of yourself with these beauty rituals. So like, and this could be something as even as simple, especially if you're a guy watching my channel, as like brushing your teeth every day, or like, you know, like making yourself clean shaven every day or something like that, whatever floats your boat, you know, or if you like love your beard, taking care of your beard every day with like beard oil and stuff like that. Like whatever the beauty ritual means to you, whatever you feel called to do, that's what the card is urging you to do this new year. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, you can like or comment below. If you really like that reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. With that said, I'm going to move on to the third group with the Charoite. Hey, group 3, this is if you picked the Charoite piece over there. Pretty cool necklace. It's one of mine for my collection. I mean, all of them are for my collection. But, okay, so let's get into your reading. We have tea leaf oracle cards and 2 sets of tarot cards here. And so we're going to flip over your cards. Well, let me first bring up some points. We have 4 of Swords, 4 of Wands, and Queen of Wands reversed, and Knight of Cups reversed. So, it's interesting. We have a few things. We have some court cards, so some people showing up because they're 2 different types. There's like a Wands and a Cups. I'm seeing as like different varieties of people in your month ahead. And also with 4 of Swords and 4 of Wands, there's a lot of like rest, recovery, party, celebration, really just relaxed, chill times where you can like let loose and have fun. So I'm seeing that at least in the first 2 weeks. So let's see what else is in the readings. I'll flip over the tea leaf oracle cards now. So we have Rainbow. The most difficult part of the situation is over, and that's paired with Queen of Wands and 4 of Swords. Like this is week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So we have Rainbow for week 1. The tarot card for week 2 is the 8 of Cups reversed, and we also have Tree, affairs with your family. Knight of Cups here, and we also have 4 of Wands again, and we have 4. Oh, wow, the party is really going on this month. It's a big party month. Let's see, and then we have Ear, good news, so that's good. And then let's see, we have the last tarot cards. We have Page of Swords, and we have 8 of Wands reversed. And for your tea leaf oracle card for that week, we have an exciting event. Oh, this is really cool. You have a really positive spread for your month. Okay, let's get into your reading. So, first of all, with Rainbow, the most difficult part of the situation is over. Just like a storm, like a really crazy rainstorm where you can't go outside, you can't, you know, frolic in the fields because it's raining and wet. When the rainbow comes, it's like the storm is over, the light is shining through, and the rainbow is like that symbol of like the next new thing, the next bright thing. So what we're seeing here is that something in December was pretty difficult or pretty stressful, and the last week of December was not that good for you is what I'm seeing, or the like Christmas time wasn't that good this year, or something like that. There was some kind of difficulty in the previous December, right? And this even could be representative because I am kind of using this as kind of a beginning of the year. This could even be like a difficulty throughout the last year, like the whole last year could have been like something being really difficult. So maybe not just December, but the previous year. And what we're seeing here with 4 of Swords and Queen of Wands is you finally get to rest. You finally get to recover. You get to like really enjoy your alone time, your downtime. With Queen of Wands right here, this is kind of the card of like, she can either be quite extroverted or quite introverted. She has 2 sides to herself. She's very charismatic, right? But the thing is like right now, because it's in reverse, I'm definitely seeing her as more introverted. It's like a time where you can rest and recover away from the public eye. So you may have been having to do a lot of things around people, dealing with people, and maybe it was a little stressful for you. So really you get to spend quiet time to yourself, alone, introverted, relaxing, chilling, whatever you like to do on your alone time, watching TV, reading books, playing video games, anything really chill and relaxing where you're just kind of keeping to yourself. I'm definitely seeing like meditation could also be very important for you in this time period to just really de-stress away all of those negative vibrations, because it's basically the time with the rainbow. It's like saying like, okay, the hard part's over, the stressful part's over, now you get to relax. Now is the chill time. January is the chill month. So we have this like wonderful thing where you get to like really have like a very happy month ahead, basically. with Four of Wands and the Eight of Cups in reverse, affairs with your family, there's going to be some kind of connecting to your family in week 2, and there's going to be a big celebration or a big party or big activity. This can range from anything to like, I was going to say going to a music festival, but that could basically be like a house party with your family, or getting together with your family and listening to music and celebrating and eating and this really relaxing, fun times and just chilling and having a good time. The Eight of Cups advises you, right, to not think too far ahead into the future during this month and just kind of enjoy the present moment. With the Eight of Cups, this guy walking back I see him kind of walking quickly in my mind's eye, like this guy walking back with the cups, right? It's like you have all these emotional commitments and things in your future that are like on the horizon, but right now it's just important to have fun. It's just important to let loose, have fun. He's like huddling back as fast as he can to get to these girls where they're partying, you know? So it's really like, and this can also indicate people traveling from different locations to come visit your family, or you traveling somewhere to a different location to go visit your family and have a big celebration. So that is in January. So like, look forward to that. That's really cool. With ear, good news. We have another interesting thing. This month ahead is kind of like, the reading's going to be quicker than some of the other piles because there's just less to unpack here. It's a pretty easy, like fun month. But with good news, you're going to hear some really positive, brilliant news. Now, here's the funny thing, and this is why I laughed earlier, is because with the Knight of Cups reversed, you're going to be hearing this news from someone who is like, either you don't like them, or it's either you don't like them or they don't want to give you this news. Like they're upset that they have to give you this news and they're like, ugh, but they have to do it. Like that's like maybe their job or their position where they have to relay the news and maybe they don't want to. A good example of this would be if like you're working with a friend, like, or not maybe a friend of me, but you're working with another person and you're both trying to get a promotion, right? And the boss tells that person like, hey, you tell so-and-so they got the promotion. That's a really messed up example. I'm pretty sure that your boss would probably like just tell you got the promotion. But whatever this good news is that you're getting, it's coming from someone you don't like. It's almost like you don't like the messenger, but it's like they're telling you this really brilliant, fun news. So in week 3, I would say, obviously avoid people if they're like a danger to you or anything. But like if there's people in your life that you just kind of don't really like, but you've just been avoiding them, it's good to be around them in this week, 3rd week, because they have really positive news for you. And we're also seeing that with this Four of Wands here, this is double confirmation of the celebration. Like the feeling of this being like a giant party in January, like this giant party month, week 2 and week 3 are both like that. It's going to transfer in from week 2 to week 3 is like this massive party vibes and just really enjoying yourself and celebrating and just having a good time. It's kind of like a really, really chill and easy month. I'm very happy I get to deliver this message to you, especially if you've been dealing with a lot of difficulties this past year. You're having a really pleasant time. It's funny that this person, it's like the icing on the cake, really. There's this person that you don't like, and the fact that they have to deliver this good news to you, it's like killing them, and it's like making you feel so happy because you're like, you know what? Like, it's almost, I'm getting the feeling of like, this is kind of gloating or whatever, but I'm getting the feeling of you being like, yeah, that's right, I win. You know, like, kind of like it's almost like you've been at it with this person before, and it's just like the fact that they have to deliver this good news to you, you're kind of like, you feel validated. It's almost like, it's almost better because it came from them than if it came from someone you like cared about, basically. Anyway, so with an exciting event with Gong and Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands reversed, there's going to be a lot of celebration to the end of January, but there's almost like a pause with the Page of Swords. It's almost like there's going to be an exciting event that's going to happen in February. And it's interesting because there's a pause or there's some kind of like slowing down of the celebration in week 4. So you might feel a little antsy, like, why can't the party just keep going? And it's kind of like the universe just pushed all their party vibes into you, and the universe has to like take a deep inhale before they can blow out all those party vibes back onto the dance floor, wherever you guys are. So it's like with Page of Swords, this is just this like pause basically where you're kind of, there's this holding back of like an activity that's going to be postponed to February. But I'm definitely seeing that with this exciting event, you're going to have a new event that's coming in February. It's going to be more party vibes. Really, it's a very chill month. It's a very chill February. Like, you really just exciting, positive things coming on the horizon for you. So that's good to know. Page of Swords, this can indicate like a younger person coming in and like having to involve the next stage of this next exciting event, dealing with some kind of younger person that's coming in, maybe as a certain like logical type younger person or curious type younger person with a kind of an imagination. That's for some of you. For the most part, I just see this as kind of like paused energy for the exciting event that's coming in February. So let me see if I can see anything else. I feel like that reading was pretty straightforward. There wasn't too many nuances to it. So I want to just double check to see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm also drawing a self-care oracle for you guys for the year ahead to get you kind of like an activity that you can work on for yourself. And we have watch a movie. Okay, like really cool. So something that you can do in the next year is really get acquainted with film and movies and kind of like art through like filmography and stuff. So if you have favorite movies, it's recommended you watch a lot of these movies. I'm seeing this, you can start this in January when you're resting and recovering if you're a movie person. I'm also seeing this person and they have a cat and a cup of coffee there. So if you know, having a cat and cuddling with your cat is a big thing for you, that's an important part of it. That'll be an important part of your year ahead. And also with the cup of coffee, I'm seeing like warming your soul with something like a snack before you watch the movie or something is going to be really beneficial. But really getting in and keeping up with art forms, movies, TV, stuff like that throughout the year. I'm definitely sensing a lot of relaxing and like really just enjoying yourself. Even going to the movie theaters. I know in some places in the world, movie theaters are opening back up. And there's a lot of new movies out that came out last week and stuff. So getting and watching more movies and stuff is going to be really beneficial. Even if you watch movies on like YouTube or Hulu or whatever, you can like watch movies through there and stuff. Just really getting in touch with stories and the visual component of stories. Very cool. So if you like that reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this once every 1 to 2 weeks, and we're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. With that said, we are going to move on to the last group, group 4 with the Rhodochrosite. Hey, group 4, this if you picked the Rhodochrosite right here, this will be your reading. So we have tea leaf oracle cards and tarot cards. I pre-drew the cards for this reading, and the ones that popped upright out of the deck that are probably going to be important themes was the 4 of Swords reversed, along with the 7 of Swords upright and the 8 of Wands reversed. So let's get into your reading. We'll flip up your other cards. This is week 1, this will be week 2, this will be week 3, and this will be week 4. So a tea leaf card correlates to each one of the weeks. So for week 1, we have the Hanged Man and the Emperor with the tea leaf card of the Tiger. Then we have 4 of Swords reversed, 7 of Swords upright with the tea leaf card, the Basket. Then with pile 3 or week 3, we have 6 of Pentacles reversed, the 8 of Wands, and Shark, take care, there will be a loss of material wealth. Another group got the Shark too. And we have, for the last group, we have the 5 of Wands in reverse, and we have the Judgment card upright. And for your tea leaf, we have muddled, unclear thinking. Interesting. Okay, let's get into your reading. So for week 1, we have a few things. This is was a little tricky for me to read, but I think I got it. We have the Tiger and the Hangman, which can seem like contradictions because we have the Hangman, which is about taking a break or a timeout or a pause in kind of like the energy or the momentum. And then we also have Tiger, which says doing something risky, taking a chance. So one thing I'm seeing with this is that there is almost like this Hangman is representative of like the previous year where you've had to kind of like wait and kind of like not deal with any kind of too many risky things or risky endeavors, basically. With doing something risky, taking a chance, it's basically asking you to do or take the risk that you're thinking of. It's almost as if your New Year's resolution or something involves a little bit of risk in it. Like there might be some kind of extreme element to it that you're kind of focusing on doing for your New Year's resolution. the cards are urging you to, yes, take the risk, go ahead and do it. But with the Emperor upright, they're saying really think it through. Like with the Hangman too, think it through. Like take time to reflect, look at all the angles, look at all the perspectives. And with the Emperor, when you finally decide to do it, make sure you have a solid foundation to build upon, right? That's the most important thing here with the Emperor, is building that solid. If you notice the Emperor, the tower has rocks in it in the back too, but this Emperor has these like rocky mountains that are just rocks. There's no there's no plant life or growth on them yet, because he's building the foundations. It's like someone sculpting the earth before they throw the grass and the trees on it, you know, or even fill it with water. There's this element of like, just like, what is the rock? What is the foundation? So with the Emperor here, you're focused on that foundation, or you should be focused on that foundation before jumping into this risk, right? There is kind of like an idea of like building a structure, right? Now it's interesting. It's almost like the activity, like, how do I put this? The activity could seem risky, but because of the way you're going about it, it's not risky. So other people might see you as taking a lot of risks in this situation, but really it's like very calculated. You're making a lot of calculated moves, and that's really important, and that's going to build the backbone for your success in this risky endeavor, right? It's going to build a success for your situation. So really your risk is not, I don't think your risk, I'm not seeing your risk so much, because we have, well, actually, no, the Four of Swords here is reversed, so there might be a little bit more of action in this week. But I'm definitely seeing it as like a planning stage, at least in week 1, where it's like you're building upon a foundation to like prepare to take the risk. Or part of the risk is actually building a foundation. You know, that's part of like the whole thing. It might be a bigger risk or a greater risk than something really quick or like fast, because we do have the Hangman here, which is basically saying take your time, build step by step. There's no need to rush. This is a situation where you want to build slowly and surely up. The Emperor is a great and amazing card for foundations, for structures. It ensures that when you build the structure, it is a set in stone, solid foundation that cannot be toppled, right? It's the opposite of the tower, right? Where the tower is kind of this foundation or structure that can be toppled, you know? You even see in the tower the Emperor's crown falling off the top of the tower. You're not building that. You're building a solid structure. The Emperor is all about having that solid structure in place, right? And it might take a few moments to look at things from a different angle, look at things from a different perspective. Even getting outside perspective can help in this situation, just to shift the perspective around to see things from a different angle. You really want to get the clearest picture, the clearest view in mind before you jump into this and start building. Anyway, what we see here is in week 2, you start to see some recognition and reward for this project that you're working on. And it's interesting because with the Four of Swords reverse, it means that on one hand, sometimes with the Four of Swords reverse, it means like take a break before you like lose your mind, or, you know, like kind of like take a break before you get burnout, basically. But with the Four of Swords reverse, I'm hearing this right now, is that this is about activity, right? And being active, but also letting things come to you at the same time. So you're going to be active, but at the same time open to receiving. So it's a combination of both. Sometimes we think that like a yang attitude's go-getter or yin attitude's receiving. You're going to have to kind of do both, or alternate between both, basically. On one hand, you're going to have to take a lot of action to achieve things. And on the other hand, you're going to have to keep your ears open, you know, like this tiger, like waiting to pounce or hearing the environment. You have to keep your ears open to see what's coming your way. And I definitely see there are some secrets coming your way from people, or information, secret information that's coming to you from outside sources from this week 3, actually. Certain people, it's almost like the universe is pushing parts of week 3 into week 2, basically. But some of these secrets are going to be really, really important for your business and the success of your business, or even if it's not a business or it's a relationship or something, whatever you're building slowly and surely, these secrets are going to be very key in order to build this from the ground up. Yeah, and a lot of these people who are providing you with these secrets, they really value what you do. So a lot of people are coming to you and being like, wow, I really value what you do. I really want to tell you this. This is some information I have, and I want to give you this information because I really believe in this project. I really believe in what's going on here. And so that's something that's quite interesting with the basket, is you're getting this recognition and this reward, and you're also receiving these kinds of like secret information or hidden information. Another thing about this card, the Seven of Swords, this is about going about your business in a very discreet way, not drawing too much attention to yourself. Even though you're going to be quite active, You're not going to want to draw too much attention to yourself. The people who are going to see this project succeeding and come to you and help you with it are people that are aware of this already. Like, they're already aware of the sensitivity to the situation. For example, how do I put this? You basically don't need to be loud about it, because these people are going to find you because they see the work that you're doing, but you don't need to like shout to the rooftops about the work that you're doing, basically. Like, it's basically asking you to kind of like take these secrets on board. It's kind of like working in things in a more like selective, like secretive way, basically. The guy in Seven of Wands, he has 5 swords in the hand, 2 out here, right? He's sharing only like 2/7 of the information that, he's receiving, and he keeps the rest to himself and sneaks off with it. He's not sharing all of it. He gives little crumbs and tidbits here and there. So if anyone asks you about this project or what you're working on, you can feel free to give them a little crumb or tidbit of what it is, but don't like go into detail. I would even brush it off if someone asks you about it. Like, they don't really need to know about it anyway. If it's someone just asking questions to be polite or something, you don't really have to tell them too much about it. Just kind of keep it to yourself. Don't really reveal too much. The people that are on this thing with you, that see this thing with you, they're going to be the ones that are going to be providing you with that information that's going to be useful later on. With Shark, take care, there will be a loss of material wealth. We have 6 of Pentacles, and we also have the 8 of Wands. So opportunities in week 3 are not going to be coming in as fast as they were coming in week 2. Basically, when you started this project, it's like you get a little burst and you kind of have to work a little bit, but then it slows down. What this is saying to you right now is money is going to be tight in this particular time period. So 6 of Pentacles just indicates not really giving too much or receiving too much from other people. So you're not going to be receiving much money, but it's also saying don't give out your money either, because if you're giving away all your money, you're going to be losing this kind of like revenue you're building here. And even if this is not, I know for this reading, I keep referring to a business, right? Or I refer to like taking a risk and possibly a business or working on a project, but this project or this business can be anything from like being in a relationship. So for example, if you're starting a relationship with someone and you're taking a risk, going out on a limb here, building that relationship with the foundations from the ground up, and then not really sharing that relationship with other people, keeping that relationship to yourself. The people who love and value you and know you for who you are can know who this person is, right? But maybe not being so publicly displaying with public affection, basically. And then here it's all about like, well, here it is really focusing on material wealth, because we do have the 6 of Pentacles. So this basically just means like not continuing this week 2 if this is a focus on a relationship where you're not sharing that aspect with too many people or not telling too many people about it. But for the week 3, it's basically saying like don't be spending too much money because you're not going to be receiving any in return. The 6 of Pentacles is about that kind of flow of like either making money or spending money, and that kind of flow between the both, helping out someone in need. It can also be referred to charity, helping out someone in need, and then, or you receiving help from someone else. There's kind of like a stagnant block here for all of that. And we see that doubly confirmed here with the 8 of Wands reverse, is there's just kind of like a slow moving opportunities coming in. So it's almost like molasses. Imagine this shark right here swimming through mud instead of water, trying to like swim through mud instead of water. It's going to be really tricky. Interestingly enough, there's also this aspect of like another reason why right here with this, why you want to keep things secretive, right, is because it's almost like your argument's kind of contentious, right? It's almost like the world that you're living in or the people that you're living in are wanting to like, I don't want to say pick fights because that's too strong of a word. They just don't want to agree. Everyone basically has an opinion, right? And so as soon as you start sharing, yours, they're going to counter with their equal and opposite opinion. That's why it's best to keep it right here. And it's interesting, we have that over here with the 5 of Wands, because we have an interesting thing. We have muddled, unclear thinking. It looks as if the slowing down of activity in week 3 creates this kind of like thing in your mind where you're kind of like not thinking totally straight, but the universe kind of responds to that and kind of answers your blessing. So for example, if you're not thinking that clearly and you're like, man, I had this big battle plan in the beginning of the month and I was working so well with these things and keeping this so on the down low and it was succeeding and it was going very well. And then I had this slow down a week 3 and what do I do now? What do I do now? It's like the action's gone and it's hard to like think straight. The beautiful thing is the universe is coming in and breaking up these Five of Wands energy. So all those opinions people had over here, all those suggestions and things people had, it's breaking it's creating basically a more cooperative environment. Instead of people vying for supremacy, it's creating this cooperation. And that is really the fertile ground for you to plant your quote unquote forest. So this card actually has a double meaning. So when you're planning your forest or creating your empire with the Emperor, this is the perfect time to create your projects and do your projects because the competition is low, the advice and the tensions are low in week 4, and with the Judgment card, you feel clear in your mind to awaken all these people to this project. I'm definitely seeing like manager or boss vibes for some of you working on kind of like some kind of covert project or something that you have to do in secret. But even if you're just working on personal projects, right, and you're like researching information, and so certain people are giving you advice, you're getting advice online or the internet, this is basically saying that you're awakened and you feel like the true purpose of what you're doing, basically. It's also a good indicator for the rest of February, like going into February and stuff, that you have this kind of attitude of like empowerment, basically, with the Judgment card. It's almost like you're awakening people to their true purpose, or you're being awakened to your true purpose. And with the Five of Wands in reverse, other people are almost being awakened to the idea of like what's going on in a more cooperative environment around themselves. This can deal also over here with like worldly issues, like the world starting to cooperate with each other in week 4 of January. There might be some mass cooperation in like big world events, you know, or something that creates a kind of positive atmosphere for you to get this thing moving again. Very cool. So that ends your reading, but before you go, I have this self-care oracle card. I'm going to draw a self-care oracle card for you guys to see what the cards are urging you to work on for maybe a New Year's resolution or throughout the year, just to take care of yourself a little bit better. And we will pull that right now. Let's see if one pops out, and if one doesn't, we have massage. Perfect. So one thing that is like, oh, and right below it, we have clean your space. So that might be important as well. But for massage, it's basically just saying like, go ahead and get a massage. Relax those tensions, right? Building a solid foundation does not mean your body has to be a solid foundation, right? Like just because you're building a structure that's as solid as a rock doesn't mean your body has to be as solid as a rock. You know, release that tension, get a massage. Maybe take some time to figure out what like touch means to you and what sensual things basically. And the idea of touch and like getting in tune with different things of like physically basically. Yeah, massage, this can be getting a massage from a loved one. This could be going to a massage parlor, but massages are going to be really good in releasing your stress this year. Basically, that's what the cards are urging you. And cleaning your space, making a more active attempt to be more clean in your environment, or having more of like a nice, open, kind of like clean environment, basically. Also, something that could be coming through is with the Emperor here upright as well, in implementing a cleaning schedule where you clean your house and do a certain schedule for it. The Emperor can, to me, also represents scheduling and kind of like scheduling different activities into your daily life, right? So maybe making time for massage, maybe scheduling a massage every like the last Sunday of every month or something like that, schedule a massage. Or with cleaning your space, maybe like twice a week, you know, do some things and clean up your space or something like that. So really getting in touch with like your outer physical environment and how that's making you feel, and also your body, and making sure your body feels loose and stress-free, basically. Well, perfect. That was your reading. If you like that reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like this reading, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. With that said, this was the last reading for today. I will bid you guys adieu. Thank you for letting me read for you, and I will see you in the next pick a card. Bye.